Today, we're going to try to guess who is secretly Republican. Who is the secret Trump supporter amongst these Democrats?
I'm a Democrat.
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 Early on, we have a front runner for someone who is not Republican, but maybe they're just trying to throw us off the scent.
So why don't we introduce ourselves? I'll go first. My name's Angel.
There are trans conservatives like Caitlyn Jenner, also gay conservatives, so we can't be too thrown off by appearances here.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Christina.
I'm Brock.
I'm Zakia.
Steven.
Cool. So where's everybody from?
One white guy, this is going to be tough.
I'm originally from the Bronx, but I live here in LA now.
I live here in the Los Angeles area.
I'm from Guatemala. I don't know if you guys can hear from my accent, but I live in LA.
I'm from Ohio, but I live in LA.
I'm here, born and raised.
All right, from Florida, Winter Haven, but I live in West Hollywood now.
Florida.
Originally from Texas, but I've lived here in California now most of my life.
Steven, when he said he was from Texas, it seemed a little suspicious.
Really quickly, do you guys have what positions are you most passionate about?
LGBT rights, immigration, things like that. So.
Disabilities. So I have 2 children. Each have a different disability. So
Okay, so the premise here is they're all going to pretend to be Democrats. They're all going to pretend to be liberals. We have to decide which one is faking it.
for me, that's a huge cause.
I think employee rights, LGBT rights for me as well.
Oh yeah, definitely the same. I would say employee rights, LGBT rights, incarceration issues.
How many of us are queer? Can you raise your hand? Is that okay with raising your hand? It's a safe space.
Early predictions. I think Angel here is way too over the top. Not a Republican. I don't think she's a Republican either. And I think the one black woman, also not Republican. The jury is out on the men. I still think the white guy is the red herring. Too obvious. These ones on the ends are too obvious to me. It's got to be one of these 3 guys. Comment down below. Who do you think it is so far?
You be queer. It's okay.
What about important issues for you two?
The environment for sure, LGBT rights, and just women's rights in general.
I am offended. They're not saying LGBTQ plus. They're not saying LGBTQRSTUVWXYNZ. I'm offended.
Okay. Maybe Christina's the one throwing us off with this rainbow top and be incognito.
I think she was too quiet, to be honest. She was just waiting for everybody to vote each other out and kind of leave her to the side. For me, it's immigration. As you guys, I came here illegally, so.
Whoa.
Another thing, I'm an HR.
Did he just say he came here illegally or legally? Damn, I gotta turn on closed captions for this.
For me, it's immigration. As you guys, I came here illegally, so. Another thing, I'm an HR manager, so for me, diversity and inclusion is a lot.
So you said that you came over through the process. How do you feel about people who didn't?
Okay, he said legally. I think that's our guy. Do you know how much legal immigrants hate illegal immigrants? It's crazy. They had to go through all the documentation. This process could take years to come here correctly. Then you got people just hopping over the border and disappearing into the country. I have huge respect for people who come into the United States legally, who get jobs, who pay taxes, who contribute to American society. These guys are awesome, and we need more of them. So I have a hard time believing that this guy is a Democrat.
Look, the sun shines for everybody, so you gotta do what you gotta do, to what's best for you.
That was the answer I wanted to hear, and I was praying you'd say. I was just please.
Okay, remember, he's pretending to be a Democrat, so a Democrat would say, oh yeah, you do you, right? I don't know. Now I'm confused.
For me, it's clean energy and increasing funding for scientific research and also diversity, of course.
Now, where do you guys consume your news? Where do you find out what's going on politically?
I watch Hassan a lot. I love Hassan, mostly because I'm attracted to him.
That's how you should base your news, on the hotness of the person reporting it.
Please react to this.
Mine's just Apple, because I have my phone. I check news sources regularly, so it's whatever comes across the feed.
Like Fox News?
They have it sometimes, but it's mostly like Vox, Atlantic.
If it's not in your algorithm, it won't come up. So I think that definitely solidified it to me, that it was Steven.
It's all over the spectrum pretty much. So I try to get a good sampling, and because I know the truth is somewhere in the middle of that.
Okay.
You know, I agree with that. If you get a far right media outlet and a far left media outlet, usually you can find somewhere in the middle a little bit more of the truth. Have you seen the CNN clip of Caitlin Collins when she was on the Colbert Show?
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. Oh, I know. CNN makes a... And I know
That's supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
When CNN is called objective, they become the laughing stock.
I like when he was young.
There's some sharp questions. I was like, oh my God.
My handwriting's really ugly. I'm sorry.
The way he was dressed, I think he was overdoing it. And when you're coming to a show where there's 5 other Democrats, there's no need to prove that point.
Definitely Steven, you know,
Of course.
middle-aged white guy. Whether he is or isn't, it just makes sense to sort of eliminate someone that instantly raises suspicions.
Oh, you're so racist, lady. Whether he is or isn't, he's a white guy. He's the devil. He deserves to go.
She immediately said Fox News. Like, if you're a Republican, you're immediately going to go there.
Yeah.
I feel like I voted for Christina because she just seemed like kind of not as loud as everyone else.
I voted for Christina not because I suspected her, but I just needed somebody to vote out first.
What? That's crazy.
What?
I am appalled. I feel like it's pretty obvious it's not me. I literally have blue hair. I think it's because
Blue hair? You have to be liberal if you have blue hair.
they thought it was too obvious, so maybe I should have worn a different top.
Can I ask, if you didn't vote for Christina, who did y'all vote for?
Yeah, I voted for Steven.
I voted for you.
Oh, race wars.
Wow.
Okay, so y'all should sort that out.
As soon as news hit, you immediately went to Fox News.
Yeah,
That's why I
because
voted for
I'm
you.
trying to catch a Republican. And you said yes, so I don't know.
Well,
I'm
that's
kind
what
of
comes. I don't
thinking.
control what comes across Apple. Like, it's all sorts of news stations.
Feels
So
defensive.
Collates different news sources.
Algorithms, I don't know. But, you know, we still have time to ask more questions.
Persistent
Like, how would you
thoughts.
define woke culture?
Yeah, that's a tricky one because now it's become, just like everything else, it's become politicized. It's become so divisive, which is how our nation is right now, which is why we're in the mess we're in right now.
And then how would you define yourself?
What is woke? Woke is anything that sacrifices the quality of the content in favor of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's pandering to the minority, and it's a cowardly attempt to appease the left when they're just never happy about anything.
Yeah, I think in this country we're just so obsessed with putting people into labels and boxes.
That's this game, but okay.
No, I mean,
Yeah, literally.
What's wrong for you?
Yeah.
What's woke culture mean to
To
you?
me, woke culture means understanding what the issues are, being well informed about those issues, and being able to talk about them in a way that doesn't like polarize people, but just saying.
She talks so smug and a little bit of a word salad there. I'm getting strong Democrat vibes. Strong. The vibes are strong with this one.
Like, this is what it is, right? Like, it's facts, you know, about slavery. It's facts about all these things. So
I just want to say, like, you're not suspicious to me. Like, I was just like, I do it right, like, I'm just not.
It's like
suspicious
queer
of
black
you.
person mass presenting.
Which could be like to throw us off, but like I don't think it is. I'm like,
It's like they're speaking another language. It's like they can understand each other. They're using all these buzzwords. That to me is a red flag for Angel and the black chick.
Like, I'm looking at you two right here. Like, what's the twist?
Listen, I only know of one conservative drag queen. She's literally was in a different video, and I'm not her because I'm pretty. So.
Oh my shade.
People who live in glass houses should not throw stones, Maleficent.
Where do each of us work? Like, what do you do for a living?
I'm an HR manager.
I'm an employment attorney for employees.
Oh, okay. So we
I
we're in the
profess.
same boat.
What is it?
I profess.
Professor?
Profess.
Oh, nice. Of what?
Finance, real estate, and law. I'm in business school.
Okay. So yes,
Looking more suspicious.
Finance, real estate, and law. That's suspicious. You actually have a job that contributes to society.
There's a lot of us that are there's a lot of us that are Democrats. Okay.
Drag queen, content creator. Yeah.
Of course
Chef,
you are.
Restaurant manager.
Oh.
I thought, oh, he's a restaurant owner. If you're a business owner, you're probably more likely to be a Republican. in a lot of contexts.
The professor, the finance professor, admits you're more likely to own a business if you're Republican. Let's give ourselves a pat on the back. You know, we're keeping America going.
I'm an engineer, and which is why I know a lot about technology, and that's why I care so much about clean energy.
What do you care about beyond environmentalism? Like, I feel like environmentalism is something like a lot of people could come together for.
Yeah, apart from clean energy and environmental, also diversity,
You know. Look, I'm black. I'm one of you guys. Come on. I can only care about something if I'm the same color. I can only care about women's rights if I'm a woman. I can only care about black rights if I'm black. That's just how it goes. It's identity politics. That moment right there, this guy's a liberal. This guy's a Democrat.
Republican Party is actively railing against these initiatives to have more diverse workforce, which goes counter to who I am.
Okay. Let's get down to the nitty gritty with a real question. How do you feel about trans people, all of you?
Oh, I love trans people. I got like many trans friends. I sound like that guy who's like, I got black friends. But
You know, a white person can't say they have black friends, but a black person can say they have trans friends. Double standard.
For me, to be honest, like I said, the sun shines for everybody. You got to do what you got to do to survive in this country. So whether you're accepted by some or not accepted by others, look, as long as you have a roof over your head, you have food to eat, you're surviving. I think that's the most important thing to me.
Wow.
So for me, it's very important that you accept the people for who they are. Diversity is one thing, but inclusion is another thing. You got to include them.
This guy's got to be conservative. I feel like a lot of conservatives feel the same way. You know, be who you want to be with who you want to be with, but don't force it upon others. You can be platinum gray, Latinx, Maleficent. Just don't bring it into an elementary school and tell kids they should look like you too.
About trans people, he's like, well, they can just live their lives. I was like, he completely dodged the question.
I mean, you live your life. We are who we are. We can't
And Brock has the exact same answer.
change who we are. I don't have many trans friends, but I've been around gay people. I've talked to them.
well, there's a
we have
difference
good
between
time.
gay people and trans people.
Oh no, I'm very much aware.
Yeah.
I just mean in terms of the whole LGBTQ sphere.
Right. So for me, it's part of my existence of sort of, my community, but it's also part of my work. I'm an employment attorney. And so I have a lot of clients that are LGBTQ that have been discriminated against at work. I represent them.
100% liberal, making up problems that do not exist. Oh, I showed up late to work for an entire week, but I'm black, so it's discrimination. It's racism. You know Reagan, that Olympic breakdancer lady from the Olympics? Her coach came out and said, oh, this is because of sexism. She's a great dancer. You guys are just sexist. She scored 0 points. 0 points from Olympic judges. How is that sexism? This lady is monetizing professional victimhood for her career.
I make sure they get what they deserve,
they
best of my
deserve it.
ability. So to me, it's through and through.
Yeah, for me, it's, I work for the Cal State system. And so the name of the game is social mobility. How do you take the most vulnerable segments of the population and you help them to get to where everybody else is? A lot of my focus is on poverty. If you are LGBTQ, if you are a racial or ethnic minority and you're poor, it's just that much worse. One of the worst things to be in this country is poor.
So we have
Right, and there are poor white people, and there are poor black people, and there are poor Latino people. The only difference is a poor white person doesn't have DEI programs. They can't go to a lady like this and claim harassment and racism in their workplace to sue a company. I think the white guy's a Democrat.
Ridiculous.
30
It's like a
seconds,
problem that you
so-
could fix, but nobody's actually putting in the work to get it done. Sorry.
The second he started talking about the sunshine, I knew. I just wasn't buying it.
Sorry about it.
Stephen felt like an easy vote. I was still on the fence about Anthony and Kevin.
I voted for Zakiya because, being from Florida, Florida's a red state. I just didn't know if I could really believe everything that they were saying.
We've tallied the votes, and the results are...
Oh, wait, who got the most votes? Was it Steven or Zakiya? I hope it's Zakiya because she is so smug. Ain't no way I'm going to get voted off. Foo.
a tie.
Okay, Steven's a guy.
Between Steven and Zakia.
Zakia.
Imagine
You
that.
will each have 40 seconds to make your case to the group.
Yeah, so I am not the Republican, I am a Democrat. In terms of LGBTQ, which came up a whole lot, I live with a trans person. My daughter is a lesbian. My wife is Demi. I was totally truthful when it came to social mobility.
A demigod? He's married to a demigod? This guy must be slinging some big dick.
It's very important to me as a college professor. And yeah, that's basically it.
Well, I'm certainly not the Republican. I grew up in Florida, where I was oppressed because I was queer and black, and we didn't have a lot of money. I moved to California because I was like, I want to have my rights respected, and I also love the beach. I actually ran for political office in West Hollywood a couple years.
I was gonna say she's got that politician vibe where she talks like this. Ba-da-da, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. I was queer. I was oppressed. Good. Stay out of Florida. Leave Texas. Leave Utah. Go back to California. They want you there.
Years back, very progressive city. And so I literally live, eat, and breathe, protecting the rights of like democratic queer people. So it's not me.
Another tie?
Another tie.
What happens?
You need to convince each other to budge.
Oh my God, this is.
Okay.
So who voted for who? I voted for Steven because I really don't think it's her.
I voted for Steven, but I don't think it's either.
I don't think it's either of them.
Yeah.
I think the mole is standing right here with me.
Oh, wow.
I think it's one of you. I do.
Yeah, I think the same.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's one of the four that's right here. But
Then why did you vote for those other two?
I voted for Zakia. Just being an attorney, kind of gave me the vibes. I feel like Steven's also too obvious.
That's why I said it's neither
For
of
me,
them.
I don't think he's obvious. I think it's way too bold of a lie.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
I voted for Zakia. I mean, she came from Florida. She said she wants to be at the beach. I'm like, there's, I think, better beaches in Florida. She's an attorney. I mean, if you look at our financials or income per group, I don't think either us immigrants or LGBT are there financially too.
Whoa, okay, a logical answer with facts instead of just, I feel like, and it's my feelings. Yeah, Kevin, you're a Republican, my guy. Got her off.
I can't believe it. I mean, queer black person in America, not that it's impossible, but it feels impossible that I would be a Republican when all of my rights are literally on the line and being erased as we speak. So.
Oh, so glad she's gone. Do we not have to look at her or hear from her ever again?
So.
Please raise your hand if you want to continue playing the game.
I have doubts.
All right, it's unanimous.
I want to know more about this middle area here because
I feel like we could have possibly already gotten them all apart.
If it's not Kevin, and I'm almost 100% sure it's Kevin, it's Anthony. So one of these two dudes right here.
Actually, I kind of feel, but then I feel like
honestly, I don't think so.
Unless we were lucky the
I
first round.
still have my doubts. I think I judged a little
If
prematurely.
I'm being honest, I think it is one of you two. One, there's been a larger shift towards black voters voting for Trump.
Oh, wow.
And that's
I
the only
still
reason
don't
why
understand.
I suspect you.
That's
Just because
Hell yeah. Hey, if you're black and you're watching, drop a comment down below.
it's not me. The other reason is that there's also been like immigrants like coming into this country and then switching over to voting for Trump.
yes.
that was my concern.
But I don't think
Yeah.
it's anything that
Also
you guys
doesn't
said.
make
It's
sense,
just because what's happening around
And it was
us.
just like the sun shines for everyone. It just felt so like anyone could say that, you know what I mean? Like, so I just want to know more. Like,
Okay, I can tell you my story. I came here illegally when I was 15. Across the desert, took me 2 days. People don't believe me, but I tell them, look, go to the Children's Hospital in LA.
Okay, wait, he said he did come here illegally? Oh my gosh, this guy's accent, I can't tell.
October 22nd, you'll see my records there. And this is why I'm in HR. Now I'm in charge of helping other people create that culture. Like, if you come in, you're somebody, you know, not just because of your past or what you went through. So that type of thing, that's why immigration is something that I love.
Whenever he was saying, oh,
He said immigration. He didn't say asylum seeker. He didn't say anything like that. The buzzwords that the left likes to use to say that these are dreamers, these are asylum seekers, they're not illegal immigrants. So him saying immigration, I think, is a green flag that he's conservative. I can't freaking tell. Is he saying he came here legally or illegally? Legally.
Oh, you can go here and find my records, and like, I thought that was over the top.
Talking about immigration, that could go either way because Biden, we all know, has done a lot of deportations himself and the Obama administration as well. So I just feel like it's...
Wow, Angel, you Latin Maleficent. Yes, Obama deported far more illegal immigrants than Trump ever did. Do they talk about it? No. Hush, hush. Sweep it under the bed.
It could lean either way.
Nice.
Go around and just say how we feel about Trump. I feel like we haven't even talked about that.
I'll be very honest, you're not gonna like my answer to this. So Trump is the president that none of us want,
right?
But he's the president that we deserve, and here's why.
Okay, wait.
Why? No, I'm serious. Here's why. Because we are so politically divisive.
Hold on.
If we don't get back as a country to compromise and bipartisanship, Trump's just the beginning. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Right.
I'll answer second since you guys think that it's...
I can see where Steven's coming from, but I would never vote for a Democrat just to appease the other side, just to show them that I'm flexible, that I can vote outside of red party, right? I will vote for the best candidate for office, and in the current election, in the current polling, Trump is the front runner and he needs to be president in November. How do I know Kamala Harris's policies when she won't even talk about them? It's like comparing oranges and apples. Here you have someone who's been in office already for 4 years, has their agenda completely outlined on their website. You know what they're about, versus this gray area storm cloud who was one of the most ineffective vice presidents of all time, is now suddenly the hero, the champion of the Democrats.
I'll answer second since you guys think that it's me, but it's definitely not. I cut off family members, my own mom, for voting for Trump.
Liberal. I talked in my last video about how my neighbor supports Trump and his liberal son has not come around in several years. My neighbor has never even met his grandson. Because he voted for Trump, he is ostracized from that liberal side of the family. This is what the left does. They completely just shut themselves off from the opposing view. It's heartbreaking, and this guy says it like a badge of honor. Look at me, I cut off my own mother because she voted for Trump. Give me a prize, give me a gold medal. That's just sad, dude.
Trump is the worst thing for America today, and that's what I'm worried about is today.
To be honest, I don't like the things that he said about people. Him calling all of Hispanics, let's put it Hispanics, rapists and all their things.
Okay, I disagree with that. He was saying that there were criminals, right, that were coming in. We were getting the worst of South America. We were not getting the best, right? We were getting people escaping into the country. And yes, there was a lot of violence, a lot of murder, a lot of rape going on.
Not true. I'm part of that, and he's just lying about me. He's lying about my family and lying to other people. So that's something we don't want to be perceived as, you know?
By the way, I just want to put that out there. I'm Latina. Like, I'm not white.
You are? I thought you just sprayed brown on yourself. Can't you identify as brown if you can identify as a woman too?
Okay. But as far as how I feel about Trump, I think he's going to win. I definitely think he's going to win, unfortunately, because our old man is barely kicking.
Okay, there was a disclaimer at the beginning of this video that this was filmed back in like July 14th, before Biden dropped out and Kamala took over.
Like, stop electing old people.
Yeah,
Our
party needs to
people
get it
ask, am I
together.
ageist? Yes.
Yes, you can be ageist, but you can dress up like that and people can't say anything bad against you.
I think my biggest point against Trump is that he made it okay to hate. Sure, the racism was there, it was hidden, but when he comes out and he starts saying all these things like, you know, rapists coming into the country and good people on both sides, stand back and stand by, and just, he made it okay in this nation to have a dialogue against other people, and it is.
I agree, and I think there should be a dialogue against other people if those other people are detrimental and dangerous to your freedoms and your democracy.
Is resurging in a way like we've never seen before.
Right. How can a black person vote for Trump is my thing.
I asked myself the same question.
Well, you ain't black if you don't vote for Biden.
After Charlottesville, you said you ask yourself that same question, so you might be voting for Trump?
No, because I've had this talk with people who do vote, or not people who don't, but like,
Look, I don't judge people for being a Republican. Well, maybe a little.
I'll judge Republicans, but you can't judge me even though I dress as a queen Gothic Easter bunny.
But I would judge them worse if they didn't have the nectar app.
I voted for Barack because he had slipped up and said a comment about black people voting for Trump.
Okay, so having two black guys, maybe one of them, but I just get that conservative vibe from Kevin. My channel's name is Conservative Vibes. I'm feeling the vibes.
Is that, you voting?
My strategy coming in was that the Trump supporter talks a lot. Anthony just really couldn't stop talking, so.
We have tallied up the votes, and the result is another tiebreaker.
Oh my God.
I disagree that a Trump supporter would be the one talking the most. We are known as the silent majority. Keyword there is silent. You notice Kevin really doesn't speak unless spoken to. It's not like Angel. He, she, whatever is leading the conversation, very assertive. Everybody else is blah, blah, blah. Kevin's kind of like sitting back like, yeah, I'll respond if you talk to me.
Tiebreaker is between Barack and Anthony.
Oh my God.
Gag.
You got 40 seconds to make your case for why they shouldn't vote for you, and then we'll do a revote.
So, I'm gay as I work with BLM. I know Republicans would never do
The Bureau of Land Management? Awesome.
that. I organized for Palestine. I grew up in a really large
Vote him off the island.
family. I'm all about sharing. I'm all about diversity, communication. I work in a cuisine that's outside my culture, my race. So I had to dive in. I had to study this cuisine. So
That's cultural appropriation. If you cook a food from another culture, I can't believe it. He has to be Republican.
All right, let's talk about race. My family came to this country on ships and in chains, and we have worked to get to the...
And have you ever been in chains or on a slave ship? Me neither, man. Do you know my grandparents, who were living until a few years ago, were in concentration camps? But I don't put that victimhood mentality out there. Oh, my grandparents were in concentration camps, so have pity on me. Give me everything. I deserve it.
The point where I can stand before you today as an engineer and somebody who's achieved a lot in this life that people way generations before me would never have dreamed possible.
So you're saying that you're able to make a living for yourself. You're able to be an engineer thanks to the capitalism and the freedoms of the American system. Don't sound that oppressed anymore, bud.
From the Republican Party about how we shouldn't be talking about race in school and just the erasure of the pain and the suffering that my predecessors have gone through. There are other things that I feel strongly about as well, but this is my one thing.
Really?
you guys speak fast.
You know, slavery was around for hundreds of years before the transatlantic slave trade. The Chinese did it. The Mongols did it. Africans did it to themselves. Yet they don't have that victimhood mentality. I don't know. It's just the African Americans, the blacks in America that act like victims.
All right.
Yeah, I'm cooked.
Please
Expected as
exit
much.
the square, Brock.
I brought up the black conservative issue as a very risky strategy, mind you, and I think that came to bite me in the butt.
And then there were 4.
Please raise your hand if you want to continue playing the game. Okay, now you got to convince each other. I'll give you 30 seconds to convince each other.
I think they get money if they get the mole out. Like the earlier they get the mole out, they get more money.
Who are people still suspicious of? Like, just right off the bat.
I'm suspicious of you two.
They started sussing me?
Me?
Are you kidding?
You, I'm suspicious of being an immigrant, right? A lot of immigrants do vote for Trump. They do vote for conservative, like a tendency, right? So I would say it's down between you two in my head, but then I'm kind of thinking
That's time. That's the thing.
Oh, I got the whole thing. Sorry, guys.
All right, you got to revote.
Anthony talks too much, and everyone needs to know that.
I talk too much.
Uh-huh.
Please raise your hand if you'd like to continue playing the game.
Anthony is too much. I just can't believe he would do that. Like, he talks too much. I let my fat Latina ass do all the talking.
The game.
All right.
So the majority has decided to stop playing the game. If the lights turn...
Oh, hey, our boy made it through. Okay, leave a comment down below. Is it Kevin? Come on.
green, you have successfully voted the mole out and you win. If the lights turn red, that means the mole is still in the box and you lose. Here we go.
Anthony knows. Oh my God.
I knew it. I was the only one who wanted to continue the game.
Oh, God.
When I count to 3, can the mole please step forward? 1, 2, 3.
I knew it.
Got him.
I knew it.
Sorry, Steven.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anthony.
I literally voted for him so many times.
I'm sorry. I thought it was you. I did.
Just because I'm Latino, people already assume that I'm Democrat when I'm a full Republican.
Kevin was
Nice.
the mole. I knew it. I said it in the round.
I let my stereotype get the better of me because for me it was, oh, he's a successful engineer, he's an entrepreneur. If we had to go another round, I was going to definitely vote Kevin.
I was right, and more people need to trust me.
Okay, hi guys.
Ay.
Wouldn't trust you with my children. Tell you that much.
Okay, so everything I said is true though. I am a Republican now. I was a Democrat before. The thing that made me switch to being Republican is because I had a couple friends that got deported with Biden's administration. That was very, very unfair.
Oh, my man.
Biden has 2 or 3 times more deportations than Trump does. That tells me something. When Trump was trying to get the finances to build the wall, as an exchange, he was willing to offer citizenship to people that had DACA and that came here and that went to high school, graduated high school. Through my research, I found out that Democrats said no. So that kind of struck me like, okay, why would you say no when you're out there all about like, immigrants? Another one,
Look at Angel's just not paying attention.
I'm a veteran from the U.S. Army.
Hell yeah.
The VA funding, all Democrats voted against it. I have disabilities. I go to the VA for healthcare a lot, and I don't have the finances to go to an independent doctor. So that kind of made me do it, because Republicans are more for our veterans. I was able to get my mom, who's an immigrant with criminal record, her green card through a Republican program called Parole in Place.
Yes.
Those are my interests, my family's interests, so that is why I voted.
I think so many people are Democratic or Republican, liberal or conservative for very different reasons. But you should listen to people who have different opinions than you.
You know, that's why Brock said, hey, look at my skin. Of course I'm a liberal. They're all about identity politics. You have to look a certain way to believe a certain way. Kudos to Kevin for being an immigrant, for being Latino, and saying, no, I support Trump because of the facts. And the facts are Biden deported 3 times as many illegal immigrants, and Trump supports veterans.
An open mind, keep an open heart, give yourself an opportunity to learn.
This election year, a lot is going on. Just have faith in whatever you decide. We'll get through it together as a country.
Please vote in November. It's way too important not to. We have to make sure that our rights are secured.
There's more than just the president that we're voting on. There are policies and other people being elected.
Tell me Kamala Harris's policies. Go. Okay, that's right. There are none.
Please make your voice heard, no matter how small you think it is. Please just go out there and vote.
Trump is a capitalist. That's something I like from him.
Yeah.
I like my pockets full. Oh, shoot.
Okay, he gets some money. Those are all $1 bills. But he wants some money for being a successfully secret Republican, a closeted conservative, as it was.
Oh, I just thought for everybody here.
Anyway, what did you guys think of today's video? Should we try doing one of these live so we could do a live chat reaction, see if we can suss out the odd one out together? Be sure to like and subscribe to Conservative Vibes. I'm CV, and I'll see you in the next video. Check out conservativevibes.com if you want to pick up some conservative merch. Everything is made here in the USA.